Today, on a special edition of Judge Faith, we look back at the emotional dramas that played out before our eyes when these families brought their feuds to court.
I called her brother because I'm like, I'm about to go ham. Watch me because I'm about to put her out.
Somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been shot over what?
And then
I won a large sum of money, $690-something thousand.
I know what you're thinking. All these people she gave money to, why am I here?
plus
So on my birth certificate, it says my mother's name, it says Mr. Terusa's name, but my last name is Lettieri.
We will pay for a paternity test if you will agree to take one.
and later.
She's crashed 6 cars, Judge Faith. 6 cars since
You've had
16.
6 cars?
Yes.
When you're given everything, you appreciate nothing.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith.
Welcome to this special edition of Judge Faith. We've had a lot of great cases on the show, and today I'm going to share a few of my favorites. A family feud can get started in many different ways, from an unpaid loan to a wrecked car. Often these feuds can only be settled in one place, the courtroom. Take a look.
Plaintiff Shinwa Hempel says other family members warned her that the defendant was trouble, but her cousin crossed a line when she disrespected her on Facebook. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Cece Lanier says she doesn't know because she was forced to move out and living with her cousin was a nightmare. She's accompanied in court today by her girlfriend, Marnea Penn.
I know the defendant, she's my cousin. We haven't always been close. Her mom kind of kept her away from our side of the family. But every now and then we would hook up and get together. We met up once. We got matching tattoos to show our bond. She fell on some hard times in May of 2014. I guess she got into it with her mom. She texted me one night and she said that she needed somewhere to stay. So I told her that she could come stay at my house. So instead of having her sleep on a couch in the studio, I said, go ahead, you can have my bedroom. You could just sleep in my bedroom. Well, that became very comfortable for her because when she started having company, they were sleeping in my bedroom.
Stand up, ma'am. You say that she moves her girlfriend in at some point. What
Absolutely.
happens?
She committed a crime or whatever, got caught, went to jail. She gets out of jail. She runs to the rescue and goes to pick her up Thanksgiving Day and brings her to the house.
Did she move her in, or
Yes.
did she just bring her over to visit?
She brought her over to visit and she never left. 2 weeks later, I sent her a text message right here that said, hey, what's going on? She's still here. I wrote them a letter, a 4-page letter, letting them know that things had to change around the house. Like, I'm not gonna clean up after you. You guys need to start buying tissue, like that kind of thing. Things you do when you live in a household. So I put the letter on the door. She takes the letter off. I text her and say, hey, did you review it or whatever? I go to Facebook and she's posted on Facebook a subliminal message to me that says, misery loves company. I won't let nobody stop my shine. I'm moving up, whatever. Basically, mocking what I said.
Did you write that on Facebook?
Yeah.
What were you talking about her?
No.
Okay, and y'all are doing this on Facebook while y'all are sitting in the next room.
I called her brother because I'm like, I'm about to go ham. Like, I'm about to bust a nutty. Like, I need you to come over here and watch me because I'm about to put her out.
You comment on the Facebook post, and then you come over. Why don't you stand up? You are her brother?
Only by blood, yeah.
And what happens?
So when she called me like, hey, this the last straw, it's about to go down. I said, let me grab my camera, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
What's about to go down?
I'm about to put her out.
You grabbed your camera.
Yeah, because I know how she get, you feel me? Like she said, writing the letter probably the best thing she could do.
And you went over there, and what happened?
It was some words at first. It was just, talking back and forth. It really got kicked off when NG said, boo-bop that ass. And when she said that, she lost it.
Like, is that...
Do you have video?
crop that out of the video?
Yeah, I got a video.
Okay, let me see it. No one say anything while I watch this video.
I swear to God. You say?
She said she gonna boo-bop your ass. Go ahead, what you said. Matter of fact, just boo-bop her.
What did you say? What did you say?
Who edited the video?
I did.
And what did you do with it?
I put it on YouTube.
Why?
For views.
You were more concerned about getting views on YouTube than being a man stepping in and trying to stop it. You don't know if she has a gun. You don't know if she has a knife. That's how it all gets started.
How what gets started?
violence. That's how people like Juan end up coming to a house like yours, because somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been shot over what? This all came to a boil because of a Facebook post. As the 37-year-old, and you're dealing with a 23-year-old, this is when I need your maturity to step in. And you say, I am frustrated, this is a problem, but you don't do what you did in that video. That's what you don't do. I don't want the two of you to have to go out and deal with each other again, because I'm concerned about what might happen. We're going to resolve this today. I'm going to order you to pay 2 months of rent, the 2 months that I know aren't disputed. So that's a total of $900. That's a judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. Good luck to both of you.
Coming up, a big win at the casino causes major drama between a sister and her older brother.
She had told me I could pay her back when I was able to.
You know, I wish I would have won that money at a different time in my life. I would have made completely different choices.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Loretta Holmes says her brother borrowed a portion of her casino winnings for truck driving school and is refusing to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Albert Gonzalez says he paid a portion of the money back and his sister forgave the rest of the loan.
Albert is my brother, and he is one of 5 siblings, and I'm the baby. And about 9 years ago, I was at the casino, and I won a large sum of money, $690-something thousand.
Wow. So did they give you one of those big checks? Like,
yes,
how did it
ma'am.
work? Wow. So what did they say when you came home and told them I just won almost $700,000 at the casino?
They were shocked. Like, I think at first they were like, you're lying. But no, it was true. So
what was the first thing you bought for yourself?
I probably went clothes shopping.
Okay.
Amongst a whole lot of other things. I got a call from my mom, and she asked me if my brother could borrow some money.
Well, how much money?
He wanted to borrow $3,000 to enroll in a truck driving school.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Was this a loan you were asking for?
Yes.
So you were going to pay it back?
Yes.
He was going to pay it back the following year when he received his income tax returns.
Your Honor, that's a mistake. She had told me I could pay her back when I was able to.
Right, because she's rolling in it at this point, so she's not pressed.
And I figured, at the time, that was just a drop in the bucket of however much money she had. I didn't know exactly how much money she had. I just knew she
So did you ever pay her anything? What's your defense to?
Yeah, I did pay her. I did pay her some when I moved back to California. I got married in 2006, and she didn't go to my wedding, which kind of hurt a little bit, but...
Why didn't you go to the wedding?
You know, I can't say why.
You were on vacation somewhere?
I probably...
In the Caribbean?
Not the Caribbean, but I was somewhere.
Okay. Do you have any of the money left?
No, ma'am.
It's all gone? No house, no real estate investments?
No, ma'am. You know, I wish I would have got this money, won that money at a different time in my life. I would have made completely different choices.
Yeah.
But you live, you learn, you know?
And people start spending lavishly and not thinking about the future, just start thinking about the present. So it's actually not uncommon. Did a lot of people start calling you and asking for money?
People I didn't know as well were asking me for money.
So are you suing other people besides
No, ma'am.
him? Or okay, it's because I know what you're thinking. All these people she gave money to, why am I here?
Exactly. So I decided to give her, I can't recall how much money it was. I think it was like $400 or $500. I can't remember.
It's $300, Your Honor.
She said, okay, this will do for now, and laughed.
He said, here's $300 and you're paid off in full, is what he told me. Take it or leave it. So I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take it, but because I don't have a car right now, if you take me wherever I need to go, whenever I need to go, for a whole month, no questions asked, then you'll be paid in full with that $300.
And you didn't have a car, so you needed a way to get back and forth to work?
Wherever I need to go. Doctor's appointments, if I needed to go to the casino, if I needed to go to a friend's house.
It's been 11 years since you loaned him this $3,000. And oral contracts in your state, you only have 4 years to bring a lawsuit to recover from an oral contract. I can't rule on this case because it's barred by the statute of limitations. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Coming up, a bio dad brings his daughter to court to collect on a loan he made for her cancer treatment.
One day she comes in and she tells me she has cancer and that she has to have breast surgery. Would I loan her $2,000?
He's at the bottom of my totem pole, like with everything that's going on in my life, and I just wanted to get him his money and get him away from me.
And later, a mother says enough to her diva daughter after an expensive school book is damaged.
She has to have the best hair, $300, the makeup, the nails, and she has no job.
Plaintiff Bud Terusa said he had a one-night stand with the defendant's mother over 40 years ago and only got a call because the defendant wanted money. He's suing for a personal loan. Defendant Catherine Lettieri says she thought her bio dad was helping her out during a tough time in her life, but Bud has become obsessed with getting his money back. She's accompanied in court today by her stepfather, Art Lettieri.
You are her biological father?
I think so.
Okay. Why don't we start from the beginning and you tell me what's going on here?
Okay, I knew her mother. We dated off and on for quite a few years. She left, and 2 months later, she called me and told me she was pregnant. You know, at this time, I'm married. I got 4 stepkids. I got 3 kids of my own. So I went over there a few times, and I met Catherine, and then eventually I didn't see her for a while.
Okay, and why don't you give me some background?
So on my birth certificate, it says my mother's name. It says Mr. Terusa's name with both of their signatures, but my last name is Lettieri.
What do you have to say, sir?
I can't understand how a person could bear a child and then forget about it. And I've been her father ever since she was born. Mm-hmm. She lived with me, and I love her father. There's nothing to do.
I'd like to say something, if I may. The only reason I actually sought out Mr. Terusa, my mother died. So I called to let him know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been a while, but thank you. So I called to let him know, and his response was, Joe, because they called my mom Joe. She was great. She never bugged me for money.
Tell me about the $2,000.
We would meet at Starbucks every so often. And one day she comes in and she tells me she has cancer and that she has to have breast surgery. Would I loan her $2,000?
I had asked him for the money, and I didn't think that he would do it. And I hadn't talked to him. I think it was a week, and he called me. He's like, well, do you want the money or not? And I was like, oh, okay, because I really didn't think I'd get it.
After I loaned her the money, I called her a few times about her, how she was doing. She said she was having complications. After that, she wouldn't return calls.
How long after you say he gave you the $2,000 did you tell him, I'll pay you back?
About a month. He's at the bottom of my totem pole, like with everything that's going on in my life, and I just wanted to get him his money and get him away from me.
About being her biological father. I may not be.
So why didn't you inquire? If all these years you say you didn't know, why didn't you get that resolved?
I have no problem taking a paternity test at all. None. I would actually be happy if he was not my biological father. But the fact is, he is.
Why don't you stand up? Do you mind switching places? And who are you?
I'm her brother. I'm Catherine's brother. My name is Scott. He's a dirtbag. We should be suing him for hundreds of thousands of dollars for back child support.
You don't let a child grow up believing that you are their father and just ignore them their entire life because you're not sure. So that the child doesn't grow up believing they are being ignored by their father. I want to make an offer to you, sir. We will pay for a paternity test if you will agree to take one and resolve this once and for all.
If I am her father, then does it affect how you rule?
No.
All right, you want to do it, do it.
Are you willing?
I do want to know. Let's do it.
She wants to know. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Let's do the exam. Judgment in this case is for you, sir. $2,000. I'm ordering you to pay the judgment.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bud decided not to go forward with a paternity test. Plaintiff Carolyn Everett says her daughter is spoiled and needs to learn a life lesson about responsibility. She's suing for the cost of a damaged school book. Defendant Destiny Everett says she doesn't owe because she's a good kid, and it was her mother's bad driving that caused damage to the school book.
First, I'd like to say I love my daughter very, very much, Judge Faith. But today is the day that she needs to start to be held responsible for the things that she does. She went to college this year. She went on an academic scholarship. I was very proud of my daughter. And she also got a scholarship for books.
How old are you, Destiny?
I'm 19 years old, Your Honor.
Okay.
Destiny went to one of the...
She's looking at you like, Mom, really?
She's very spoiled. Destiny is very, very spoiled.
My mom, she's really overprotective. That's what you don't know. Like, it's a lot of background to the situation. She always does too much. Like,
do you still live at home right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
she does too much. Like, what do you mean?
Okay.
Pays the rent, life, gas, mortgage, food, car note, her car. She's crashed 6 cars, Judge Faith. 6 cars since 16.
You've had 6 cars?
6 cars.
But who bought me the cars? Who bought me the cars, though?
And has another car now.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
You bought her 6 cars?
She's the oldest, and I have a 12th grader and an 11th grader, which, by the way, my 12th grader wants to be a judge, and she told me to please tell you she loves you. But she made me promise to tell her mom. So we thought, yeah, it'll help us out so much. She's the oldest. They can all go to school together. They can come home together.
But why have you had to buy 6 cars?
Because she crashed them, and, of course, they were never her fault.
I didn't even have a car by the time when I was 19, and when I did get my first car, my parents didn't buy it for me.
I have to make her be responsible.
Why do you say she's overprotective?
I would like bring a friend to the house and she would just start giving them the 3rd degree. Who are you? What are you in school for? Where do you come from? What are your intentions?
Great. Everything you're telling me right now is great.
That's embarrassing. Like when I go over to my friend's house,
that's what your mom is supposed to do, embarrass you and make sure you're around the right people. Whatever happened to when you live in my house, it's my rules? I mean, that was the philosophy when I grew up. I don't know if that's changed with this new generation. I don't know. Because whenever I hear a teen come in and you're 18 or older and you're complaining about the house rules, you don't have to live there.
Tell them about the hair and the nails. I mean, and that's another thing, Justin. She has to have the best hair, $300, the makeup, the nails, and she has no job.
When you're given everything, you appreciate nothing. And I know you did it because it's your daughter, you love her, you want to see her have the best, but I think it was a mistake because now it's coming back to bite you.
Coming up, more Judge Faith favorites. And now, more Judge Faith favorites.
What happened to the book in question, what brings us here today?
The book was in perfect condition until the end of the semester, the last day. We were in her car, and the car needed a car wash. It wasn't the cleanest on the inside. And then on top of that, like, she was driving, like, really reckless that day. But long story short, when we ended up stopping or whatever, and the cover was missing. The book was on the floor, disheveled, in the whole total.
So what are you saying? She stopped and the book
No, she was
was
driving crazy. She had to drive crazy in order for the book to fall off the seat.
How could the whole cover come off the book, Destiny?
So you're saying it's her fault that the book was damaged and that's why you shouldn't have to pay.
Yes, it's her fault because she doesn't know how to upkeep her car. If the book was in my car, the book would have never been damaged.
I'm seeing some of these issues now.
Wait, what?
You're starting to see. You're starting to see.
I thought you had, let me tell you, I thought you had a much better story than this one.
But that's what happened.
All right, I've heard enough. And I don't know how you're going to come up with this $238. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to do something. You may have to get a job.
Yes.
Maybe miss a nail appointment or two. $238 just before the plane. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge Faith.
I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of Judge Faith. Sometimes it can be hard to forgive and forget, but with family, consider the importance of these relationships before you decide to end one permanently. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.